Vice President Kamala Harris announcing the first ever national gender strategy meant to, quote, advance the full participation of all people, including women and girls, into the United States and around the world.
Harris tweeting out a White House fact sheet about the strategy saying, quote, adopts an intersectional approach that considers the barriers and challenges faced by those who experience intersecting and compounding forms of discrimination and bias related to gender, race, and other factors, end quote. Let's bring our panelists in. We're pleased to have today Turning Point USA contributor Rob Smith joining us live, lawyer and conservative activist Rogan O'Handley, and former Secret Service agent Melanie Burkholder. Thank you all so much for coming on, and we do appreciate it. Rob, I'll start with you on this. What's your reaction to this new national gender policy? And what do you think about them taking a, quote, intersectional approach, and what does that mean?
Well, I think that, in some capacity, these are maybe worthy goals to be maybe 25 or 30 on the list. But right now, when you have hyperinflation, when you have the economy, we don't know what's going on with it. When we have the border issue, when we have what's going on in Afghanistan, when we have so many different things that are going wrong with America right now, this really doesn't seem like the right thing to be focused on. I think that it's a diversion. What this administration is doing right now, and what they have done time and time again, is they want to divert the attention of Americans to these other things, which most people that are not gender studies majors on far-left Twitter really don't care about, so that they can divert their attention from the real failures that are going on with this administration. So do I think that in some aspect this may be a worthy goal? Yes, possibly, if my groceries weren't so expensive, if gas wasn't so expensive, if we didn't have an absolute disaster on the border right now, maybe. But we do have all of these things, and the Biden administration is failing on dealing with all of these things right now.
Yeah, and you can apply that to women as well, Melanie. You think about moms who go to the grocery store and they notice that the price of the bill is way higher right now. When they're filling up the tank and they're making the school runs and soccer practice, you notice it there. Talk to me about the timing and the priorities from this administration when it actually comes to helping out women in this country.
It's irony, isn't it? I just have to say this. If I had my Let's Go Brandon hat on right now, I would do what my dad did in disgust when his guy, Dale Earnhardt Sr., did not win his NASCAR races. I would throw it down on the ground in disgust because this is ridiculous. We have an economy that is in crisis. As Rob said, we have a border that is unsecure. We have grocery and inflation out of this world that we haven't seen, right, in our lifetimes. And this is their focus. It's, again, like Rob said, it's deflecting the true issues at hand, and it's an embarrassment. What I've seen Kamala Harris contribute as Vice President of the United States, her most wonderful attribute so far has been doing the chicken dance at a rally for a Democrat a candidate. And that's just, that's the image that stays in my mind about her leadership ability. It's an embarrassment, and this is wrong for the country, and it doesn't help women. What is, again, your question was explain the transsectionality of it. What the heck is that? Someone please, hopefully the next guest will be able to explain that.
Rogan O'Handley, you're welcome to interpret any of that. I'd also like to mention, fact-based here, Kamala Harris was appointed to find the root causes of immigration, and yet she's sending out these type of directives, and it goes to show you the priorities of this administration. We have more than 1.7 million apprehensions that were happened at the border, or encounters rather, according to the CBP, highest ever for America, yet this is the messaging coming from the vice president. Why?
Yeah, this is virtue signaling that appeals to the far left 10, 20% of the base that just wants fluffy, nice words instead of policy directives. But I actually read through this letter, and I didn't see anything about stopping the FBI and DOJ from going after moms and school boards trying to keep hypersexuality and racism out of their kids' curriculums. I didn't see anything about protecting women in cities where police are defunded, crime, murder, sexual assaults are through the roof. I didn't see anything about preserving the integrity of women's sports, where people who live their lives as men can, one day go in and destroy all their records and make it unsafe. I didn't see anything about the actual issues affecting women in this country. So most people are awake to the fact that this is just a pointless, empty distraction. They are not focusing on the real issues affecting women across America.
Well, look, we appreciate your time and weighing in on your thoughts there. Rob Smith, always good to see you. Rogan O'Handley, Melanie Burkholder, thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.